In honor of the new ColourPop and Harry Potter makeup collection, let's do a Hogwarts themed look, but without actually having any products from the ColourPop and Harry Potter new collection. If that's something you're curious about, just keep watching. So how on earth are we going to create this Hogwarts look without using the ColourPop and Harry Potter collection? We will use a lot of other products that I have ready right here. And no, you don't have to have the exact same products, but I will show you how this collection can for the most part be easily duped. So just watch all the video and I will be telling you about the dupes of the eyeshadows, of the eyeliners, of the highlighters. Here are the products that I'm going to use. Let's start, let's go on. Chances are, if you're a makeup junkie like me, or if you are at least a quarter like me, by the way, I already primed my eyes with a transparent primer. Let me zoom in. So I was saying, if you're at least partially like me, chances are you already have a lot of makeup products in your collection and you can actually use those to dupe the palette because the colors are not that special. The packaging is very special. I agree, I can totally understand why you would like to get it because of the packaging, but I'm going to use this shade right here as the green from the palette, as the Slytherin shade. Radiant Reflection palette from Sydney Grace and Tim Talia. I'm going to use a small brush and just dip it into this Sublime Reverie shade, which is a dark matte green like the Slytherin and the ColourPop palette. And we're going to use it in the outer corner. I'm not going to do a look which is themed by one of the houses, but instead I'm going to use all of the houses on my eyes. And so here we go. This does have a little bit of fallout, but that's because, you know, I'm lazy and I don't knock off the excess eyeshadow. I honestly just prefer removing the fallout afterwards. I don't have any face makeup on, and so we'll just easily remove it later and then put on my face makeup. That's just what I prefer to do. We're doing the outer V and patting this eyeshadow gently on the eye. This is really pigmented, so basically any palette of yours or any single eyeshadow that is a matte dark green, maybe slightly of the emerald shade, like a little bit blue leaning, but like this one, will actually dupe that Slytherin shade in the ColourPop and Harry Potter palette to start your Hogwarts themed look. I'm repeating the same steps on the other eye right away so that I can keep track of the symmetry, and I wiped the brush with a tissue and I'm just blending this border slightly. And you know what? To be just absolutely like extra confident that it really shows up very green, not in the slightest bluish, I will just do an extra step, which I think nobody really has to do, but I'm just perfectionist, an obsessed perfectionist. And now I'm using the Sugar Pill Capsule palette, and I want to use this green shade here and a little blending brush and just put, this time I'm knocking off the excess, just put a tiny bit of green here in the blend. This is more of a swamp green, so it will definitely make my emerald green shade a little bit warmer here in the corner where I'm putting it. Next, I was really a bit indecisive what to use for the Ravenclaw shade dupe, because on one hand it is dark like the shade of blue over here, but on the other hand it is a little bit with a shimmer, and so I was thinking about this Our Starry Night shade over here, so I decided to actually use both. I will use the dark blue and then add a tiny bit of shimmer kind of overlapping it. Once again, you can just go with a dark matte blue, you know, not be as obsessed with it as I am, right? So let me just take this dark matte blue here and put it next to the green. Once again, more with patting movements, and where it overlaps the green, I'm doing a more swipey movement, and as well as on the border of the shade that will go to the next color. And once again, blending the upper side of this eyeshadow with the same brush that I wiped off tissue so that it transitions more smoothly into the skin. Now let's take a small amount of this Our Starry Night shade. I really don't want to overdo it. I'm overlapping this shade slightly so that it has a little bit of shimmer to it. Improving the blend slightly. Whenever there is too much on the brush, just wipe it off a tissue. Now that palette has the Forbidden Forest shade, which is actually a violet pressed glitter. I do have a violet glitter, however, I feel like this Celestial Bloom shade from the Quintessence palette by Temptalia and Sydney Grace once again will actually be a great dupe because it's so sparkly and shimmery. It almost looks like glitter, although it is an eyeshadow. It feels like an eyeshadow, so I'm just going to dupe with that. And let's see what happens. Putting it here on the eye. See how sparkly it is? It almost looks chunky on the brush, but then because it's not a glitter, but it's an eyeshadow, of course, it looks softer on the eye than a glitter. I think you can totally use just a purple glitter. That is pretty easy to find in a lot of brands. So I think this dupe is not going to be tricky at all. And yeah, I'm going to use a little bit of purple here, and I'm overlapping the blue. You know, that being said, once again wiping the brush of a tissue, that being said, I can totally get why somebody would want the Harry Potter collection by ColourPop just because of the packaging. Honestly, it's so cute. And I'm a huge Harry Potter nerd, so I could not be more excited by the theme. But I feel like the product colors themselves are not that special. For example, we're going to dupe the shade Butterbeer now with this tangerine shade, once again from the Sugar Pill Capsule palette. And let's just dip it in generously. And we are going to use it here on the inner portion. Well, not exactly the inner portion of the eye, but very close to the inner portion. We'll have room just for one more. And let's blend it with the purple. Oh, I'm loving the color scheme so far. As I said, I want this eye look to be Hogwarts themed, so have all the houses. We have Slytherin, we have Ravenclaw, and for Hufflepuff there was a matte shade called Hufflepuff in the ColourPop and Harry Potter collection palette, but the matte really doesn't fit in here, so I'm going to represent Hufflepuff with a metallic yellow shade that is a gold, and this will be duping the Golden Snitch shade from the palette, and this is called Exquisite Opulence, once again from the Radiant Reflection palette by Temptalia and Sydney Grace. And by the way, if you want to see, putting this in the inner corner, if you want to see all the swatches of these palettes, they all have reviews on my channel and they are all in the description box, so you can just click right away and see all the colors nicely shown to you in the respective video. Loving it so far, but we still have the lower lid to do. I removed the fallout, did some face makeup and primed my lower lid, so now let's go for Gryffindor on the lower lid. Normally for Gryffindor I would just use a bright matte red, but there isn't a bright matte red, true red, in that ColourPop and Harry Potter collection palette, which amazes me. Instead, the Gryffindor shade that they have here, is more of an orangish red, and there is also the shade called Invisibility Cloak, which contains like a metallic bright red, so we're gonna go with those and dupe those. I'm gonna use this little flat brush, and for the orangish red I'm going to use the shade Dearest Constant, once again from the same Sydney Grace palette. Take a small amount of it on the brush and apply it right under my eye here in the outer corner. As you can see, it's more like a brick red color, so it has this slightly orangish hue. It is not very light, but it definitely has this red aspect as well. And I'm not going to pull it out too far, I'm just going to stop right here. For the bright metallic red, we are going to use the Jawbreaker palette by the Jeffree Star Cosmetics and this shade right here, which is called And What? And this is a bright metallic red, as you can see, and I will also slightly mix it with the matte orangish red that we already put on. And I think they will make a nice Gryffindor color together. Oh yeah, I was right. That looks Gryffindor. I love Harry Potter so much, guys. I was so excited by this collection when I saw it. So this video is not anyhow to demotivate you from buying this collection. It's just I've been trying to spend money more responsibly, seeing that I don't have any to spend. And also because it's been so hard for me to buy anything from the USA lately, using the gold shade to dupe the Golden Snitch once again. and using it here in the inner corner. So that's why I'm just duping this collection, you know, in case you want to create the looks from this collection, but you don't really want to spend money on something that maybe you don't need, then I think you'll find this video useful. And if you want to get the collection and you are going to get that, you can also find this video useful and just create the look with the shades that I named. This is a look I would have created if I had this collection. You can also consider this a tutorial. Now about the eyeliners. I feel like the only item from the collection that is hard to dupe is the red eyeliner, because this stuff is pretty rare. I do happen to have a dupe. This is the NYX Vivid Brights, but this is a discontinued item. It was limited edition. However, there is a matte liquid eyeliner which is of a red shade in NYX. It's slightly darker. It is the Epic, yes, the Epic Wear liquid eyeliner. However, you can actually get it there, and this is just, you know, from what comes to mind that you can buy right away. Also, there is a matte eye crayon in Chaotic Cosmetics. I don't have the red one. I have the pink and green ones. They are of great quality. I also have the code themirrorbeauty with them, by the way, but that's not the reason why I'm telling you about them. I just am trying to think where you can find red eyeliners, and there they have the red crayon as well. And as for the green, blue and golden eyeliners, this is much easier. I'm not going to use the golden eyeliner here because I already have plenty of golden eyeshadow. However, that's available in a lot of brands. For example, in NYX, they have the NYX Epic Wear Liner Stick, which is also in gold. And then the blue and green eyeliners are the easiest to do, probably. There are plenty of those. So for the green, I feel the best would be the Kiko Milano Lasting Precision Liner in the number 11. I also have a whole video on green eyeliners so that you can find your perfect dupe if you are not exactly satisfied with this particular one. And I'm going to use it in the outer part of my wing. And you know, also it's a slightly warmer shade, but I feel like the ColourPop one there is also slightly warmer than this eyeshadow over here. The green eyeliner in the collection is called Locket, the blue one is called Diadem, the red one is called Sword, and the golden one is called Cup. Just for reference. So right now I'm duping the Locket liquid eyeliner. I'm duping it with an eye pencil. But honestly, a green liquid eyeliner is not a problem to find. Let's extend that to approximately the middle of the eyelid. And now we can go to duping the Diadem eyeliner, so that is the dark blue one. It is also matte, also, I mean, just like the green, the Locket one. However, I decided to use a slightly metallic eyeliner just because I think it will look better. I do have a matte blue eyeliner eye pencil. This is called Sabbath by Urban Decay, just an example of what you can get. And this one is super affordable, also one of the reasons why I decided to use this one. This is the Essence Long Lasting Pencil in the color called Deep Sea Baby, and I think it just dupes perfectly the eyeliner over here. And let me just put it on the inner portion of my eye. It also glides super smoothly over the eyeshadow and just gives the same blue color as the eyeliner I've seen swatched by ColourPop. Eyeliner is duped. There is no mascara in the collection, so I'm feeling free to use whatever I like, and I like this Vamp Pupa Milano mascara in dark green. This is number 504, and I just really like the volume it gives, and also I feel like it matches perfectly the pencil shade and is going to really add a nice touch to my look. They also haven't launched any eye pencils in this collection, so I feel free to use anything I want on the waterline because I wouldn't be using a liquid eyeliner there anyway. And what I'm using right now is the NYX Epic Wear Liner Stick in Fierce Purple, which is the darker purple because they also have a light purple there. And this is to match the pressed glitter shade, the Forbidden Forest shade. I feel like it would go nicely. They also launched 3 highlighters, Hedwig, Buckbeak and Dobby, and Hedwig is a light blue violet shifting highlighter, then Dobby is a golden highlighter, and Buckbeak is the most natural of them all, like a rose gold beige. Honestly, these shades are pretty standard. You can find them in a lot of places. For example, take a look at NYX, and just one of the examples, you know, this palette I have here, for example, has a slightly shifting shade called Brixton. I could use this one, but I'm going to go with a Tammy Tenuka pigment that I have here, which is called Sweet Fog. And let me just show you the shade. See, it shifts from violet to blue, so I feel like it's very similar to that highlighter they have. This is just a pigment, by the way. Like, you can use it on the eyes, you can also use it as highlighter. And I'm just using this big brush and putting it on right here. Ooh, shiny. Knocking off the excess in this case. Did I go overboard with highlighter? I probably did, but I do not regret it. Let's put it on the other side as well. Ooh, just another option I would suggest for the highlighter if you still have this Old Alchemist palette by KVD Beauty, then this, hold on, this violet shade right in the center. It is really like a blue-based violet and is a very similar shade to the Hedwig highlighter. Now that we have finished the eye look, here's what it looks like with the ColourPop and Harry Potter collection palette, or the dupes thereof. Let's go for the lips, and they launched 3 lipsticks there, Hermione Granger, Ron Weasley and Harry Potter. Now, honestly guys, I would not buy any of these because I just do not use these colors. So maybe Hermione Granger, which is kind of a more wine red lipstick, I could use, but very rarely. I have a couple of reds, but not too many, and had I had this collection from PR or from somewhere else, I would not have used these lipsticks in this look anyway. I would probably have used the Luna Lovegood lip gloss, which is kind of a blue-based sparkly lip gloss that they have, but I would not use any of these lipsticks, especially like Harry Potter. It's like nude lipsticks. I never use those except in lip art, so I'm just going to go with another lipstick, which I would have used anyway, even if I had this collection. And of course, you obviously feel free to go with the dupes of those. I'm just going to say that since these are pretty standard colors, you can find a lot of dupes in many brands, including ColourPop itself, by the way, from the other collections, but also, for example, in NYX, in their matte lip cream, in the Shine Loud if you like those. I personally don't, but if you do, there are lots of like nude and reddish colors, and basically in almost every brand there are colors like this. And I'm going to go with a blue lip look for this because I am a Ravenclaw. My eyes are Hogwarts themed for all the houses, and my lips are going to be slightly Ravenclaw themed. And this is the lipstick called Sugar Pill Shiver. Now this is a discontinued one. However, I do have a blue lipsticks collection video where you can see like tones of blue lipsticks and pick whichever one you like if you're also a Ravenclaw or if you just like blue lipstick. Now, it's harder for me to talk when I'm putting on blue lipstick, when I'm putting on any lipstick actually. So, let me just try the best I can. Okay. This is a metallic, like, midnight blue. I have 2 questions here in the comments. First of all, what house are you in? Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin? And second, would you take a cat, a toad, or an owl with you to Hogwarts? I would take him. No, that's not an owl, that's a cat. See, the lipstick is still on, by the way, but also some cat hair is on. Just as usual, just as always. But we're not done with the lips yet. How could you think that? We're going to top them with the shade Gillyweed from the palette, the ColourPop palette, or the dupe thereof. And by the way, something I always forget to do, if you're liking the tutorial so far, please press the thumbs up button. And so I'm going to use the shade Leo from this palette. This is the old Urban Decay and Kristen Leanne palette. Any light green shifting shade will do. There are currently plenty of those in the market, I feel like. You can get them as individual shades, as pigments, or you can get them in different palettes. And we're going to take a little bit of that on the blending brush and start tapping it softly into the lips. Not all over the lip, but in the middle to create the ombre effect. So this will be Ravenclaw shifting to Gillyweed, which I think is very cool. I think Gillyweed is cool. Because I'm also, you know, a mermaid in my soul, so I would love to have some Gillyweed and swim an hour underwater, or at least approximately an hour. I could, you know, like be cautious and take maybe 55 minutes or so, right? I mean, there are debates on how Gillyweed works in fresh and salt water. Now that is totally a Harry Potter themed look. Let me just do the hair. Hermione Granger vibes, but rainbow to match the more rainbowy eye. And here comes the sorting hat. And I didn't have any Harry Potter themed outfit, so I put in my lip art outfit, which is always appropriate, you know, for any occasion. And by the way, this t-shirt has rainbow lip arts, and I recently added the Halloween lip art collage for all you Halloween shoppers out there. So if you want to take a look, just go to the link in my description box with the lip art shop. And if you want to see more tutorials like this, please subscribe. And of course, go to this playlist. You'll find lots of them there. Bye! Thanks for watching!